Before we get into today's subject, let me tell you the following. This video is pointless. I'm not here making any groundbreaking discoveries, nor am I trying to fundamentally change the way you look at solo queue. What sparked the idea for this video was me playing Overwatch in a lot of different ways. I played in 6 stacks with my friends, I played in LFG, and of course, I played in solo queue. I have played in high elo as a Zenyatta one-trick, I've played in low elo as a flex DPS, and I've played in quick play as whatever I thought made sense. And during my time playing, I have made good, bad, and mixed experiences all around. But there were some things that occurred more consistently than others, and that is what I want to talk about today. Of course, when you play in solo queue or any other way, pretty much anything can happen. By sheer luck, or the lack thereof, you can just so happen to either have a really good or a really bad time playing Overwatch. I do not want to discredit those who happen on either ends of the spectrum, but what today's video is about is more of a general feel that I've been getting. It's nothing scientific, and it's also nothing I want you to put too much thought into. It's really just what I have been experiencing and how I perceived it. But of course, as always, you are more than welcome to add your own experience to the pot by leaving a comment down below. At any rate, let's finally get into what I consider to be the current solo queue mentality. When you go out of your way to use the LFG feature to either find or create a group, then most people would do that under a certain rule set. Maybe they just want people who use microphones, maybe others want to find a meme stack for wacky hero comps, and others again might kick you if you have your profile set to private. All of these things are perfectly valid in LFG, but none of that applies to solo queue. And I mean, not a single one of these things. Quite frankly, you can't really make demands of any sort when in solo queue, because a lot of the players who participate in that environment are not interested in following restrictions of any kind. Nobody owns a damn thing to anybody else, and the reason for that should be obvious. Because there's now an alternative. You want to run a real composition that makes sense? Well, should I LFG for some tank mains, I guess, because nobody here is interested in getting off of DPS. You want everyone to use microphones, communicate, and strategize? Don't you think I would have joined a tryhard group in LFG if I was interested in any of that? The mentality that I often came across was simply that of not caring. Of course, there were plenty of players who were interested in trying to make the game work, and I reckon even more so would exist on NA servers where communication is a bit more seamless. However, most of the players I came across were still fully expecting everyone to not give a damn, even when they tried to get them to play properly. And on the note of playing properly, that too is something that you cannot take for granted in solo queue. This is something I have lamented on stream actually. Players in Overwatch have very different ideas of what they consider to be fun. I don't pretend to understand why somebody enjoys running headfirst into a 1v6 to stagger themselves at every opportunity possible, but quite frankly, when you play in solo queue, you can't expect players to even know, let alone practice, the most basic level of Overwatch gameplay. Cohesive hero compositions, combos, and synergy, let alone communication and counterplay, all of that can be thrown straight out the window in solo queue. And I mean, is anyone even surprised? Officially speaking, you can't get reported for your hero choice even when it's borderline throwing. There's no requirement to join voice chat, and if you think somebody's rank is an indication for their level of skill, then you are in for an unpleasant surprise. Even when talking about which heroes are popular, solo queue is very much about two camps of players. Those who play whatever makes it as easy as possible to win, and those who just want to play whatever they damn well please. If you are under the impression you can convince every team you play with to run a dive composition and then expect them to even know what they're doing, then you must be smoking something I'd love to get my hands on. Single healer compositions, double off-tank setups, and all kinds of other nonsense are things you have to work around. And don't even get me started on all those weird flanks that only work in solo queue, because people are either actually that oblivious or they legitimately turn the monitors off mid-game. Now, as much as I'm presenting all this in a very mocking fashion, I'm actually not hating it at all. You see, I used to be big into flexing. When my team was begging for a Mercy or a Moira back in the day, then by God, I was the one who swapped for the sake of the team. And purely statistically speaking, I lost most of these matches. Obviously, I started questioning my thought process there. If I lose the game even when I swap to meta picks, what stops me from just playing whatever I want? This is something I honestly no longer feel bad about. For me, Overwatch is all about team play. It really is. And that's why I love playing with my friends in 6 stacks, because we get to have that real Overwatch experience that I am looking for. But of course, I too sometimes just feel like playing a hero for the sake of it. So no, I don't feel feel bad for one-tricking Zenyatta when I want to, for example. Even when I am the only healer and even when somebody is begging me to swap to main heal. And the reasoning remains the same. Why would I abide to your rules in solo queue? For the longest time I was fighting the notion that paying $40 for a video game gives one the right to ruin the competitive experience of 5 to 11 other players. I lamented the anti-competitive nature of that kind of a mindset. But we are playing a different game now. All the things I always hated when people said them about how we can do whatever we want and how we don't own anything to anyone, yeah, I agree. In solo queue, you are more than welcome to do whatever you want, and I will do the same. For more competitive seasons than it was worth, I've been flexing my ass off trying to make stuff work that doesn't make sense on any level whatsoever, and now I can finally get behind it myself. I can agree with all these inherently selfish players who lost me games on a daily when I was actively competing, and I can say, I'm with you now. I'm here, I'm playing whatever I want, and if I don't feel like using my microphone today, then that's just what it is. Because if I want to go and play according to any rules whatsoever, if I want to start playing proper Overwatch, then I know that solo queue is not the environment for that kind of gameplay. And that, I believe, is perfectly fine. If you want to believe that your solo queue rank is worth more than somebody's 6-stack rank while not even grasping onto the most basic concepts of this video game, then be my guest. Because I no longer have to care, and that feeling, my friends, is absolutely liberating. Okay, so like, what was the point of this video? Hell if I know. I've been spending so much time trying to brainstorm ideas for videos that I'm not constantly rehashing the same stuff I've been talking about for months. And considering that I lean my content on whatever the community is currently discussing at large, being unique in that regard has become incredibly difficult. That's to say, I keep talking about, explaining, debunking, and discussing the same things because that is what the community is still doing to this very day. Now, I have no right to complain, obviously. I chose to make videos in that fashion, so that is something I have to figure out. The decision to talk about my transition from somebody who tried to be a team player in solo queue to somebody who joins the masses in their goal of not caring came when I found myself raging to myself about how nobody's playing the game properly in solo queue. I started asking myself, why am I even getting mad? And that's kinda how this video came into being. Now, if there's anything you want me to cover, feel free to hit me up on Twitter at Terios Gaming or just leave a comment down below. Trust me when I say that I'm really trying to bring you worthwhile discussions, but it has been a bit of a challenge. At any rate, I want to thank you all for sticking around for this one, so don't forget to drop me a like on your way out if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and I hope to see you all next time.